Week 12 of the National Football League. And we'll see the dynamic Justin Fields.
You can't ask for much more than his last game, a 5-touchdown effort. It's the Bears and the Vikings under the lights on Monday night.
As this crowd rolled into U.S. Bank Stadium, they were bundled up, jackets and scarves, downright cold outside on this November evening. But all good here inside as we welcome you to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Tonight we wrap up this Thanksgiving weekend with a compelling matchup, as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that 2nd win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, the streak continues, doesn't it? They come in here a perfect 11-0. I hope everyone took advantage of the Cyber Monday deals. Now it's time to focus on some football. Bears and Vikings underway on Monday night. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So here are the Vikings set to go to work, and they're led by the leading passer in the NFC a season ago. Now in his 12th year, 6th as a Viking, Kirk Cousins.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
First play, here's Cousins. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. DeMarcus Walker, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night.
Speak of scripts to start a game, does this mean that play number 2 they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Tyreek Stevenson picks it off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
And part of why they came to this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this. And now it's a prime opportunity, just moments in the game, to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
So here come the Bears to take over on offense behind their 3rd-year quarterback, former Ohio State Buckeye Charles, Justin Fields.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl type season, and maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year, and with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
On first down, it's Fields. He'll get that underneath to Herbert. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll run with Herbert. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Whipping one into Allen. That's complete. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort. But instead, he sets his guys up in excellent shape for a 1st and goal.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now we've got a 3rd and goal situation. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch. And most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Now Fields on 3rd and goal. Flushed out right. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Justin Fields punching it in from a yard away. And the Bears use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Santos with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was all capped off by the Justin Fields touchdown run. He took it in himself. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And the interception on that opening drive winds up leading to the touchdown, so now it's kind of time to start over.
Yeah, it certainly is, and his first throw of the game. But I like the way his guys rallied around him. Oftentimes, the quarterback is the leader, right? He tells everyone what to do. In this case, I noticed his linemen around him kind of patting him, saying, let's go, big boy. You're still our leader.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's going to go down again. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. And here's Ryan Wright now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Chicago! 63 yards on the punt return score. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And we always talk about kick returns being so exciting on kickoffs. Punt return almost equally exciting.
And typically we talk about the kickoff return being the most exciting 10 seconds in football. Let's just cut it in half for a punt return and make it the most exciting 5 seconds in football. It's a great, glamorous, dashing play.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done, because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Cousins, and the throw here caught by Addison. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 17 yards, first down, Vikings. To throw is Cousins. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Cousins. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. DeMarcus Walker, his 2nd sack of the night.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Play action now. Cousins. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering, because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
This is taken at the 23. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return, and the Bears take over. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it and let's go with it.
2 minutes gone by, second quarter. Play action. It's Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. Touchdown Bears! Darnell Mooney with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Santos now to add the PAT. And it is now 21-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And finishing it all off was Darnell Mooney with a touchdown reception. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. And out now come the Vikings. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Here comes third and about a foot. Now Cousins. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown. Well, no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick six.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
Now the point after try for Santos. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick six.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over? Nice drive.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Play fake. Cousins. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Dominique Robinson. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. In motion right is Osborne. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. So on 4th down, on is the punter Ryan Wright. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And it's fielded at the 34. A great return there of 22 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
2nd and 6. Draw play, a give to Herbert. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15. The defense was dialed into the pass. They overlooked the draw play.
And how often do we talk about the oldies are still goodies? Because that draw play comes straight from Coach Paul Brown's playbook, going all the way back to the original Cleveland Browns.
Escaping the pressure right. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And that is a historic run for him, partner. With that pickup, he just broke Lamar Jackson's 2019 record for most yards in a season by a quarterback. No one has done it better across a 16 or 17-game schedule. Now his name will be forever linked with the best runners to ever play at that position.
And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Aaron Rodgers, terrific in the win, as his guys up their mark to 7-4 with the victory. We'll stay in the NFC East as we head down to the great state of Texas to check on the Cowboys at home at AT&T Stadium. And they were winners in that ball game as they beat the visiting Washington Commanders. Dak Prescott leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get you way up to Seattle. See what's happening with the Seahawks. And it was the visiting San Francisco 49ers that come in and get the victory. Brock Purdy, excellent in the victory as his guys push their record up to 8-3 on the year. The highlights from the first half, all one-sided. This one got out of hand early, and now you have to wonder how these teams will approach this second half, because this one's already close to being in the bag, if it's not already. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And the fair catch signaled for and taken, so they'll begin this third quarter from their 25-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Herbert powering up the middle. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there was another first down run right there.
Now Fields. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Marvin Jones from 8 yards out, and the Bears have got it on cruise control. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the fourth quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. Now we're going to get a stoppage. It appears to be an injured Bear on the field. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He lets one go deep for Addison. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Taking it about the 36. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Bears offense out there set and ready to go. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down. So, Charles, you look at this offense, and really on paper at least, a great situation for them upcoming. They're unbeaten on the year, an open week coming up after this. So I guess my question, any worry that maybe this is coming at the wrong time?
Oh, definitely I would be worried about this game, maybe more than any other on the schedule, because I know my guys are looking ahead to that open week. I've got to keep them focused on the task ahead, make sure they take care of business in this one. Otherwise, you're talking about a double trap. The trap of losing the game and then having the open week and having to stew about it.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A handoff for Herbert. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. A gain of 3, second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now it's Fields off the bootleg. He'll get that complete to Khalil Herbert. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Fields now to throw. Flush to his right. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Justin Fields, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Bears extend their lead yet again.
And talk about built to run the football, whether you're calling it on design running plays or him breaking out into the open field after trying to pass the football. Justin Fields knows where the end zone is. 8 rushing touchdowns last season. Only Jalen Hurts had more.
Santos now to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it was all capped off by the Justin Fields touchdown run. He took it in himself. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. And the football going back to the Vikings offense. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Now Cousins. This one caught by Osborne, right side. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. They go play action. Cousins. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. On the counter, Hunt. And he'll get this only up to about the 35.
Brings up 3rd down.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The offense on third down tonight, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Onto the field now come the Bears. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game is certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now.
Here we go.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Go.
Here's Fields. Into space at the 45. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a 1st down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. These two teams, you may remember, they met up at Soldier Field earlier this season with the Bears winning that one. So if they can win here in Minnesota, they get a sweep of the season series. On 2nd down, here's Fields. Dancing to his left. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the 1st down. Back to throw here. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
And cue the applause, and there it is for him, the mark he's been aiming for all season long. 1,000 yards. Just a 3rd quarterback to reach that milestone, joining Lamar Jackson and Michael Vick. That's a season's worth of work and a huge commitment to get him the touches that he needed to make that happen. Congratulations.
Meanwhile, Fields throw there complete to Allen. Touchdown, Chicago! A great play there. His 1st touchdown on the year. And the Bears add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Oh, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Santos with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there, but it'll be second down. Cousins now. He'll find Osborne here. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Throwing is Cousins. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They'll throw again. Cousins. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Here's Cousins. Pass caught here by Osborne. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now. And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this will be taken at the 13. Well, following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7. On the option left is Fields. Fights loose. There he goes left side. Down the left sideline. Inside the 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter, and Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams, and that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Now the point after try for Santos. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
A gain of 32 that time.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a shutout. This offense wants to get rid of that 0. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
2nd and 10. Now Cousins. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
He's got his target. That's complete. A big play there for Minnesota. 42 yards. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Bears, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead, they fall to 5-7. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.